Some of us think debt is evil, and some of us think debt is good. So is debt really good or bad? Let's take a deep dive into it. Firstly, to understand why debt is good, we need to acknowledge that there is really bad debts out there, such as credit card debts and personal loans. So why are these out here? These are created by the banks in order to profit off the interest due. Have you ever wondered why one of the top companies in every country there is a bank on top of there? Consumer debt is really dangerous, and it is because the debts average at around 18 to 20%. Let me illustrate it out for you. Take a look at this statement here. I've swiped 2.9k in the past month, and if I were to only make the minimum payment, it would take me 5 years and 9 months in order to pay off what I had swiped out in a month. And at the end of it, I'll be paying 838 ringgit of interest. That's like free money to the banks. However, if I were to pay this off immediately before the end of the next payment due date, which is always around the next month, I will not be charged any interest. So are you aware of how much interest will your credit card charge you and when is your payment due date? Imagine if an emergency happens such as a layoff and now you need to survive for the coming month without an income. What do? You swap your card to live off the next month, but the interest rate will be due on the upcoming month. And even if you manage to find a job in the next month, you will now need to pay 2 months of expenses. Without a pool of emergency funds to cushion this, you are in a very dangerous position. We are talking about raking interest rates daily as credit card interest rate is calculated on a daily rest. So you see, this is why debt is dangerous, as it puts you in a critical situation without proper planning. So I would say debt is not necessarily bad, but it's dangerous if you do not know how to use it properly. So how are we able to turn bad debt into good debts? First of all, is we need to have an emergency funds of 3 to 6 months liquid cash that we are able to take out immediately or within a span of 1 to 2 days. I personally keep around $1,000 in my savings account and 3 to 6 months of expenses in a liquid high yield money market account, which is Versa. It takes around 1 to 2 working days in order for me to retrieve it. So now we know how debt is bad. But how can it be good at the same time? If you have an emergency funds, a budget, and being very intentional on where are you spending or saving your money, that may be a good tool to leverage on it. However, it also means that you are taking on more risks. So just be mindful of that. For example, let's say you swipe your credit card to fuel petrol on the weekends with the Maybank 2 Amex card, and you are already doing this every week. But now you are using this Amex card and it provides you with 5% cashback. So it means that you are instantly saving 5% on fuel. Another type of leverage is investments. So let's say you manage to borrow at 4% interest from the banks and your business profits 20% annually. So that's 16% profit. However, we have to understand that we are taking on risk and we need to include risk into the calculation, and oftentimes it is difficult to calculate risk. After including risk into the math, is the profit spread still worth it? Put it in a simple example is, if you are taking on double the risk from a zero risk investment, you will need to earn double the returns on a risk on investment to make it worth. We will talk more about risk and debts in my future video. So if you would like to know more about it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.